The Galactic Peace Council floated in the void like a shining crown around a dying red star. Every species in the known galaxy respected this place. Its halls were made of silver stone, older than most civilizations. Here, peace was decided, conflicts were stopped, and laws of the galaxy were shaped. But on this day, the chamber felt tense, as if the star outside was not the only thing slowly collapsing. High Chancellor Vorex tapped his claws on the stone table. His scaled face carried a look of disappointment. "Another message from the humans," he growled. "Another request for peace negotiations. How many times must we hear their cries?" Around him, dozens of alien leaders murmured. Some laughed softly. To them, humans were a new species. Loud, emotional, and too brave for their own good. They had only been part of the galactic community for 40 years. A blink in cosmic time. Ambassador Shira, a tall creature with crystal skin, spoke calmly. "They seek protection for their border colonies. Raiders have attacked them. They only ask for help." Vorex flicked his tail dismissively. "Humans always ask, but what do they offer? Nothing. Their technology is young. Their presence is small. They should learn their place." The room filled with soft agreement. Everyone believed humanity was weak. Then, the chamber doors hissed open, and a trembling messenger entered. His suit was cracked, and his breathing device sparked with static. "My lords, a discovery," he gasped. "At the edge of neutral space." At once, the room silent. The messenger placed a small cube on the table. When touched, it expanded into a large hologram of a floating station, spinning slowly in the darkness. It looked human in design but different. Older, stronger, and somehow abandoned. "It was found drifting without power," the messenger continued. "Inside, we discovered a single active device." The hologram shifted. A human figure appeared, hooded, face hidden. Its voice echoed across the council chamber. "We asked for peace. You ignored us. So we prepared for something else." A pause. "If you continue to threaten our people, know this, humanity will not fall silent again." Then the hologram vanished. For a moment, no one spoke. Then laughter erupted. "A warning," shouted one council member. "From them. They cannot even travel past the Orion Gate without permission," another said. "A species still learning how to build proper starships," a third mocked. But one alien did not laugh. Elder Varen, leader of a species older than the council itself, leaned forward. His voice was low, gravel-like. "You should not ignore this." The council turned toward him. "The humans are unpredictable," Varen continued. "When cornered, they do not bow. They burn through obstacles like wildfire." Vorex waved a dismissive hand. "Old myths. Humanity is small, weak, soft." Varen shook his head slowly. "You misunderstand. Their strength is not in numbers or ships. Their strength is in will. They adapt faster than any species I have ever seen. And now they are afraid." A chill passed through the chamber. But before anyone could respond, a loud alarm rang through the council hall. A deep red glow washed over the walls. A holoscreen appeared behind the chancellor, showing a violent burst of energy near the galactic core. "What in the stars is that?" someone whispered. The council scientist spoke quickly. "An unknown energy surge. It is unlike any weapon or natural phenomenon we have recorded." The burst came from the region where human space borders unclaimed territory. At once, voices rose. "Are the humans experimenting with new weapons?" "Impossible! They do not have the technology. Or perhaps they found something." Vorex raised his hand, and the room fell silent. "Send a scout fleet. I want answers before this turns into a problem." Hours later, 3 sleek scout ships left the council's docks and vanished into warp space, heading toward the strange energy source. Days passed with no answer. Then, suddenly, one ship returned. The vessel was barely holding together. Its hull was scorched black, its wings half melted, and its engine sputtered weakly. The ship held only one survivor, a pilot with wide, terrified eyes. He was rushed to the council chamber, trembling as he stood before the leaders. "Speak," Vorex commanded. "What did you see?" The pilot swallowed hard. His voice cracked. They built something. Something impossible. What was it? Shira asked softly. The pilot shook his head in disbelief. A structure larger than a moon. Alive with power. I felt it before we even saw it. And when it turned toward us, it was like the gaze of a star. The council stared. Did the humans attack? Vorex pressed. No, the pilot whispered. They did nothing. They only watched us approach. But the energy, it was rising. Like something waking up. He stepped back, trembling. If that thing activates fully, no fleet can stand against it. A deep silence filled the chamber. For the first time, fear touched the hearts of the council. Vorex clenched his jaws. Enough. Prepare a negotiation team. If humanity thinks they can scare us, they are mistaken. We will show them true power. But Elder Varen whispered a warning, unheard by most. You should be careful. Humans asked for peace. But if you push them, they will answer with fire. And somewhere, far away in the dark, a giant human-made machine continued to awaken. The asteroid known as Haven 9 looked like a dead rock from the outside. It floated in deep space, far beyond normal travel routes. No lights, no signals, nothing that suggested life. But beneath its cold surface, hidden under layers of metal and stone, lay one of humanity's greatest secrets. Inside the hollowed asteroid, thousands of workers moved through long steel corridors. Engineers checked glowing control panels. Soldiers patrolled beside heavy blast doors. Scientists studied crystal screens filled with strange energy patterns. This place had a name. The Forge, a secret construction zone built in silence, known only to a small group of human leaders. Commander Arlen walked through the main hall with steady steps. His uniform was black and silver, marked with the symbol of Earth's united government. His face showed calm focus, but his eyes carried the weight of fear of what the council might do next. As he reached the central chamber, a massive circular room opened before him. In the center stood a huge machine, stretching from floor to ceiling. Thick cables ran across it like veins. Blue light pulsed slowly across its surface, as if it were breathing. Dr. Lien, the project's chief scientist, approached him. "Commander," she said softly, "you came early." Arlen nodded. "I need to know how far we are." Dr. Lien turned toward the giant structure. "Emberfall is stable. For now." The name filled the air with tension. Project Emberfall. Humanity's last shield. And last warning. Arlen took a deep breath. "We didn't build it to fight," he said. "Only to protect." "Yes," Lien answered. "But the council will not believe that." Workers nearby paused to listen. Everyone feared the same thing. The Galactic Council had already sent fleets toward human space. Rumors spread that the council wanted to enforce peace. But humans knew what that really meant. Control. A young engineer named Mateo walked up, carrying a data tablet. "We detected new council activity," he reported. "Large ships gathering near our border. More than 100, maybe 200. Arlen's jaw tightened. "They are preparing for pressure. Or worse." Lien looked at him with worry. "We asked them for peace. We begged for help when our colonies were attacked. They answered with silence. And now," Arlen said bitterly, "they answer with ships." For a moment, the room fell quiet. The hum of Emberfall's energy was the only sound. Then Dr. Lien spoke again. "Commander, we built Emberfall to protect humanity. But if the council attacks first..." "I know." Arlen lowered his voice. "We can hold them back, but only for a while." Emberfall was not a weapon. It was a massive energy shield generator, something no other species had ever created. It could protect entire regions of space, even whole planets. But if pushed beyond its limits, no one knew what would happen. Suddenly, alarms sounded across the chamber. Red lights flashed. Workers rushed to their stations. "What now?" Arlen said, spinning toward the control deck. Mateo shouted, "A ship just entered our sensor range. Fast approach." "Council," Lien whispered. "No," Mateo answered. "Human." Very damaged. Arlen's heart dropped. Bring them in. Moments later, a small shuttle docked inside Haven 9's hangar. Its wings were scorched. Its engines glowed weakly. Medics rushed inside and carried out 2 injured passengers. One of them, a woman with a cracked visor and blood on her suit, grabbed Arlen's arm as he kneeled beside her. They unleashed something, she said with trembling breath. The pirates. The raiders. They weren't normal. They had Council weapons. Arlen's eyes widened. Council gave weapons to the raiders? She nodded weakly. They want us to look violent, so they can punish us. Dr. Lien closed her eyes for a moment, anger and sadness mixing inside her. They want a reason to attack. Arlen stood and faced his team. No more hiding, he said quietly. If they want war, they will push until they get one. But we will not be the ones to start it. He looked up at Emberfall, the enormous shield generator glowing softly in the darkness. Prepare it for activation, he said. Quiet mode only. Mateo blinked. But sir, once we activate it, the Council will know we are hiding something. Arlen nodded. Then let them wonder. The workers hurried to their stations. Deep inside Emberfall's metallic heart, energy coils spun faster. Sparks of blue light danced like tiny comets. The entire asteroid vibrated as power levels rose. Dr. Lien stood next to Arlen. Do you think they will talk to us now? She asked. Arlen sighed. I hope so. But the Council already made up their minds about us. In their eyes, we are small and weak. They believe we will bend. He looked toward the glowing machine. But they forget something. Humans bend, but we don't break. As if answering his words, Emberfall released a low, thunder-like sound. The room shook. A faint blue halo formed around the giant machine, stretching outward, growing wider each second. Outside the asteroid, in the cold blackness of space, a soft blue field began to expand. Silent, powerful, unseen by most sensors. Humanity's shield was awakening. But before they could admire their work, another alarm began to ring. A deeper alarm. A dangerous one. Mateo stared at the screen, fear rising in his eyes. Commander, multiple warp signatures are appearing near our border. How many? Arlen asked sharply. Mateo swallowed. Hundreds. The Council was coming, and humanity's silence was over. The halls of the Galactic Peace Council were filled with noise. Advisors ran from room to room. Officers carried reports showing human activity. The warning from the lone scout pilot still echoed in every mind. But instead of fear or caution, most council members felt something else, pride. They believed humanity was overreacting. They believed humans were emotional creatures who panicked easily. A species that had to be guided, not respected. A species that would kneel the moment real power appeared. On the main council balcony, fleets of massive alien ships floated like mountains in space. Layer after layer of heavy cruisers, destroyers, and carriers gathered near the border of human space. Their armor shone in the star's light. Their engines glowed like hot fire. Each ship carried weapons strong enough to cut apart asteroids. To the Council, this was not war preparation. This was peace enforcement. High Chancellor Vorex stood at the front window, watching the fleet with a proud smile. With this force, he said, the humans will understand their limits. They will finally learn who commands this galaxy. Behind him, Ambassador Shira looked worried. They only asked for help, Chancellor. Perhaps we should speak to them before. No, Vorex said sharply. If we speak first, they will think we are weak. They must see strength before they hear words. Shira lowered her head. She did not agree, but the chamber belonged to Vorex today. Across the room, Elda Varin watched everything in silence. His old eyes saw what others refused to see. He had seen thousands of wars, countless civilizations rise and fall, and the path the Council walked now was the same one that had ended many great empires. Vorex, Varin said quietly, your pride blinds you. Humans will not react the way you expect. Vorex smirked. They are nothing but a child race. We have lived for thousands of years. They barely survived a few centuries in space. Varen shook his head. You think time makes you strong. But sometimes, those who lived less learn faster. Before Vorex could answer, a loud chime rang through the chamber. An officer rushed in. Chancellor! We received a transmission from the advance fleet. Vorex turned with interest. Good. News of their surrender. The officer hesitated. His hands shook slightly. No, Chancellor. They encountered something. The tension in the room shot upward. Put it on screen, Vorex ordered. The main chamber lights dimmed. A hologram appeared. A captain from the advance fleet looked pale and breathless. Behind him, sparks fell from damaged wires. Smoke filled the bridge. Council Command, this is Captain Ryrak. The voice came through, weak and broken. We made contact with human border space. Vorex leaned forward. Well, did they run? The captain shook his head slowly. No, they did not run. They did nothing. They only watched us. Watched you? Vorex frowned. Explain. The captain turned the camera toward the front window of his ship. The entire council chamber gasped. A massive blue field stretched across the stars like a glowing ocean, covered several planets and dozens of space routes. It pulsed slowly, almost like a heartbeat. What is that? Shira whispered. The captain answered, voice trembling. A shield. Chancellor. A giant shield, covering their entire region. Varen closed his eyes. Emberfall. They activated it. The captain continued. We tried to scan it, but every signal bounced back. We approached closer, and our weapons failed. Energy drained from our engines. Our ships lost control. We had to retreat. The hologram crackled. This is not an attack. It's a warning. Humanity is telling us to stay away. The recording ended. The council hall exploded with voices. A shield this big should be impossible. How did humans achieve this? They must have stolen the technology. We cannot let them grow stronger. Vorex slammed his fist on the table. Enough. They dare challenge the council? They dare show power. Shira stepped forward. Chancellor, they didn't attack. They protected themselves. That shield is defensive. Vorex turned on her. Defensive or not, it threatens our authority. If we allow them to stand against us, other species will do the same. Varen leaned on his staff. Perhaps they are not standing against us. Perhaps they are only standing for themselves. Vorex ignored him. Prepare the full armada. We will break their shield. Shira looked horrified. That will start a war, Chancellor. Vorex smiled coldly. There cannot be war if the enemy cannot fight back. But just as he finished speaking, another message arrived. This time, it was not from a fleet. It was from the Council's deep border sensors. Chancellor, cried an officer. New energy readings coming from the human sector. Another shield? Vorex asked with annoyance. No, sir, the officer said weakly. Something else. Something waking up. Varen's face turned pale. What did the readings show? He asked. The officer looked down at his screen. Power levels rising across multiple human systems. Coordinated patterns. Like a network activating. Vorex scoffed. Let them activate whatever toys they built. Our fleet will crush. But Varen cut him off sharply. No, this is not a toy. Humans do not build lightly. And when they build in silence, it is for one reason. What reason? Someone asked. Varen stared into the hologram of the glowing blue shield. They expect a storm, he said softly, and they are preparing for the fire that follows. The entire council chamber fell silent. In that silence, far beyond their reach, humanity tightened its defenses and waited. The council armada moved through space like a dark wave. Hundreds of ships, thousands of weapons, and millions of soldiers, all moving toward the glowing blue field that protected human territory. Every ship hummed with confidence. Every commander believed victory was already in their grasp. But not everyone felt proud. Captain Saren of the Lidhari people stood on the bridge of her cruiser, staring at the blue shield in the distance. It looked peaceful, almost beautiful. Not the sign of a species preparing war, but a species trying to survive. Her second officer whispered, "Captain, orders from High Command. We are to begin shield analysis and weapon testing." Saren nodded quietly. "Very well. But do not fire without warning." "Yes, Captain." Deep inside her, she hoped the humans would talk before things escalated. But she knew the Council did not come here for peace. They came to prove dominance. Inside the human shield, the mood was tense but calm. Humanity watched through advanced sensors as the massive alien armada approached. In control rooms across dozens of planets and stations, officers prepared defenses but held fire. Commander Arlen stood inside Haven 9's command center, watching the blue field ripple softly on a massive screen. Dr. Lien stood beside him, hands clasped, heart pounding. "Will they attack?" she asked. Arlen exhaled slowly. "They will test us first, then decide. Will Emberfall hold?" His eyes shifted toward the giant machine behind them, glowing brighter every hour. "It will hold," he said. "It must." At the edge of the shield, the first Council ship approached. It stopped just meters from the glowing barrier, like a predator inspecting a cage. Inside the ship, technicians monitored the readings. "No reaction from the humans," one reported. "Good," the commander replied. "Activate pulse wave." A blast of red energy shot from the ship and struck the shield. The shield shimmered, shook, then absorbed the blast completely. The Council ship's bridge went silent. "That should have broken a mountain," the commander whispered. Another officer swallowed. "Should we report this?" "No," the commander muttered. "Not yet. We test again." He fired a stronger wave. Again, the shield swallowed it like light falling into water. Captain Saren watched from a distance, her heart sinking. "They are not attacking us," she said softly. "They are only protecting themselves." But other Council captains did not care. "They insult us with this trick," one shouted. "Fire full power." And for the first time, the sky lit up with a storm of weapons. Beams of red, yellow, and white smashed against the shield, causing massive flashes of light. Energy crackled like thunder across the surface. The shield trembled, but did not break. Inside human territory, alarms rang. Engineers monitored power levels. Emberfall pulsed harder, sending fresh energy into the shield. "Hold, hold," Dr. Lien whispered. "It will," Arlen said, gripping the rail. Then, the shield stabilized. Weapons from the Council armada fizzled out. The storm ended, and a quiet message appeared on every Council ship screen. "We still seek peace. But if you continue to attack, we will defend ourselves." Humanity. The message was calm, polite, almost gentle. It terrified the Council. Commander Draxus, one of the most aggressive fleet leaders, smashed his console. "Enough of this," he roared. "They dare lecture us?" He turned to his weapons officer. "Prepare the war lances. If the shield won't fall, we will burn through it." But before his order could be executed, something unexpected happened. One Council ship, small, damaged, and burning, appeared on long-range sensors. It crawled toward the armada slowly, engines flickering. As it neared, a panicked voice broke through the comms. "This is Patrol Vessel Kira 7, the pilot screamed. "We were scouting the far side of the human shield when they saw us." Saren frowned. "Who saw you?" "The humans." "No, not humans. Something else. Something huge." The transmission crackled with static. Sparks flew behind the pilot. The ship rolled sideways and drifted into the armada before stabilizing. "What did you see?" Saren demanded. The pilot spoke in a shaking whisper. "There is a structure inside the shield. Bigger than anything we've seen. It was asleep before. But now it's waking up." The entire fleet fell silent. Vorex's voice came through the comm channel, cold and sharp. "Describe it." I can't," the pilot gasped. "It is not a weapon. It is not a station. It feels alive. It bends energy around itself. When we scanned it, it looked back at us. The word sent a chill through every ship. Looked back? Saren repeated, confused. Yes, as if it knew we were watching. The pilot's breath turned shaky. And when it turned its energy toward us, our ship started burning. We fled before it could finish. Vorex's voice cut in, angry. Nonsense. Humans cannot build such a thing. But Varen, who had listened quietly, finally spoke. You still do not understand, he said. Humans are not dangerous because of their weapons. They are dangerous because they build when they are afraid. On the human station, Arlen watched the Council's reactions through a hidden channel. His team monitored the Armada's movements. They are scared, Lien whispered. No, Arlen said softly. They are confused. They expected us to fight. But we did not. Will they stop now? She asked. Arlen shook his head. Fear rarely brings wisdom. Outside the shield, the Council Armada began to regroup. Some captains wanted to leave. Others wanted to continue the attack. Voices argued, orders clashed, tension rose. The fleet was breaking apart in confusion. And then, humanity sent one more message. Simple, direct, and honest. Do not cross this line. We will not attack first. But we will not fall. The message ended. A soft blue glow spread across the shield like a heartbeat. And for the first time in 1,000 years, the Council hesitated. Inside the great chamber of the Galactic Council, tension spread like poison. Every leader felt it, even if they hid it behind pride and authority. The shield around human space had changed everything. It was not a weapon, yet it stopped attacks no empire had ever resisted before. It showed strength without violence, something the Council did not understand. High Chancellor Vorex paced angrily across the room. His tail smashed against the stone floor with every step. They insult us, he growled. A young species, daring to defy the greatest council in the galaxy. Ambassador Shira tried to calm him. They did not defy us. They protected themselves. We attacked first. Vorex turned sharply. They questioned our authority. That is enough. But Elder Varen spoke from his corner, voice low and firm. Your authority is not the galaxy, and your pride is not law. Vorex glared at him. Be careful, Elder. Your age does not protect you from consequences. Before Varen could reply, the doors to the chamber opened, and several council generals entered, each wearing black cloaks with red markings. Their presence brought a different kind of cold into the room. General Krytos, a tall creature with sharp horns and metallic skin, stepped forward. Chancellor, he said, bowing slightly, the time for hesitation is over. The humans grow stronger by the hour. If we wait, their shield will become impenetrable. Vorex nodded. I agree. What do you propose? Krytos raised a small metal cube. When he pressed its side, a hologram appeared. Dark, rotating, filled with swirling energy. Shira stepped back. No, you cannot be serious. Varen's eyes widened. That weapon is forbidden. Krytos smiled. Only forbidden for peace. But we are not in peace, are we? The hologram displayed a weapon that had been banned thousands of years ago. A device capable of creating a void blast. An explosion that erased entire planets, leaving no trace behind. Its name was Nightbreaker. Shira shouted, You cannot use that on a defensive species. Vorex spoke calmly. Nightbreaker will not be used on their worlds. Only on their shield generator. Once it falls, we will force them to negotiate. Force is not negotiation, Varen said. It is domination. Krytos ignored him. We already have a ship carrying Nightbreaker. It waits at the border. With your approval, Chancellor, we will fire it at human space. Before Vorex could speak, the chamber doors opened again, this time quietly. A young diplomat stepped inside. She had pale skin that glowed softly, and eyes bright with worry. Her name was Lisa. She bowed respectfully. Chancellor, forgive my interruption, but I have urgent information. Vorex frowned. Speak. Lisa looked around the room, her voice shaking slightly. We intercepted coded messages from the General's division. They plan to use forbidden weapons without the full council vote. Shira gasped. So it was true. Krytos stepped forward menacingly. Lisa, you misunderstand. This is approved by High Command. No, Lisa replied bravely. You are twisting the rules. Using Nightbreaker will destroy not only the humans, it will destabilize 3 nearby star systems. Varen nodded. She speaks truth. Nightbreaker is not a precise weapon. It is chaos. Vorex narrowed his eyes. Why are you defending the humans, Lisa? She met his gaze without fear. Because they asked for peace. Because they tried to talk. Because we attacked them without listening. And because destroying them will not bring stability, it will bring fear. Krytos hissed. You speak like a traitor. Shira stood beside Lisa. She speaks like someone with a conscience. The room exploded with arguments, voices rising, claws tapping the floor, wings shaking, horns clattering. But above the noise, Vorex shouted. Enough! Silence fell. He pointed at Lisa. You will be detained for interfering with military action. Guards stepped forward. Shira blocked them. You cannot arrest her for telling the truth. It is not truth, Vorex said coldly. It is weakness. Something this council has too much of. Before the guards could grab Lisa, Varen's staff struck the floor with a loud crack. I will not allow this, he said. She is under my protection. Krytos growled. Old One, do not test us. Varen stared into his eyes. You test yourselves by walking into darkness. A moment later, chaos erupted. Shira pulled Lisa toward the exit. Varen moved to block the generals. Guards tried to intercept, but confusion spread across the chamber. Lisa ran. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears as she rushed down the long marble hall. Behind her, angry shouts echoed. She reached the docking bay just as alarms began to blare. Security breach. Stop her. A small diplomatic shuttle sat on the platform. She sprinted toward it, entered the door, and slammed her hand on the controls. The ship lifted. Blaster shots flew past the windows. Lisa cried out as the engines roared. The shuttle shot away from the council station, weaving through patrol ships. Several fighters followed her, but she twisted through the asteroid field with sharp, desperate turns. Her voice trembled as she opened a channel to human space. This is Lisa of the Solari people. Humans, please hear me. The council plans to use Nightbreaker. They will destroy everything. Static crackled. Then a calm human voice answered. This is Commander Arlen. We hear you. Come to us. You are safe. She closed her eyes in relief as her shuttle entered the blue glow of the human shield. Behind her, the council grew darker, and Nightbreaker continued to charge. Humanity did not know it yet, but fire was coming. Humanity listened carefully to Lisa's message. Her voice carried fear, urgency, and honesty. Commander Arlen stood at the center of the human war room, surrounded by holographic stars and screens showing the shield's energy patterns. Lisa sat nearby, still shaking from her escape, but safe under human protection. Several human officers watched her with caution, but also with sympathy. Arlen spoke gently. You risked everything to warn us. Thank you. Lisa lowered her head. I only did what was right. But the council, they will not stop. General Krytos and his division are already preparing Nightbreaker. The name alone sent a cold wave through the room. Arlen turned to his chief scientist, Dr. Hale. Can our shield stop something like that? Hale exhaled deeply. I don't know. Nightbreaker is more than a weapon. It tears space itself. Our shield wasn't built for that. So we're defenseless, someone said. No, Hale replied. But we need more time to adapt the shield. Days, maybe hours. Arlen nodded firmly. Then we use every minute we have. He looked at Lisa again. What will the council do now? They will expect you to panic, she said. They will think humans are fearful and easy to break. A faint smile formed on Arlen's lips. They have not met the real humanity. Across human space, a message spread. All colonies stand ready. All fleets prepare for defense. Remain calm. Remain united. Humans did something no other empire expected. They did not hide. They did not surrender. They did not threaten. Instead, they worked together. On Earth, factories ran non-stop, producing shield amplifiers. On Mars, engineers tested emergency barriers. On the Moon Titan, pilots launched advanced drones to map the surrounding space. Children helped carry supplies. Elders taught history to keep spirits strong. Neighbors supported one another. Humanity was afraid. Yes. But fear did not control them. It fueled them. Deep beneath Earth's surface, inside a massive underground chamber, a Titan slept. Emberfall. It was humanity's most powerful creation, an ancient project from long ago, sealed away because it was too strong, too unpredictable. A living machine, a symbiotic core of plasma, energy, and AI consciousness. Emberfall had not been awakened in nearly 100 years. It was created not as a weapon, but as a guardian. For a day when the entire species faced extinction. Dr. Hale stood before the enormous containment chamber with 2 keys in his hands. Commander Arlen joined him. Do we truly need Emberfall? Hale hesitated. If Nightbreaker hits us, Emberfall may be the only thing with enough energy to counter it. Arlen looked at the glowing sphere behind the glass, pulsing softly, like a heartbeat. Then we wake him. Hale nodded. Very well. Together, they inserted the keys. A deep hum filled the room. Lights flickered. The ground shook. The containment chamber opened. Blue light burst outward, swirling like fire in water. The energy condensed into a tall figure, humanoid in shape, made of flowing plasma, with a bright core at its chest. It spoke with a calm, echoing voice. I am Emberfall. Why have you called me? Arlen stepped forward respectfully. Humanity is in danger. A weapon is coming, one that can erase worlds. Emberfall tilted its head slightly. Nightbreaker. You know it, Hale asked. I was created to counter it. Arlen breathed in relief. Then you can help us. Emberfall's form brightened. Yes. But understand this. If I fight Nightbreaker, I cannot return to rest. My energy will be consumed. My existence may end. Hale spoke quietly. We never wanted to sacrifice you. Emberfall's voice softened. I was born to protect the children of Earth. If this is the moment, then I accept it. Arlen bowed his head. Thank you. Humanity stands with you. Meanwhile, in the distant reaches of space, the Galactic Council ship carrying Nightbreaker finished its preparations. General Krytos stood on the command bridge, staring at the glowing weapon inside its launch chamber. Begin charging, he ordered. A deep rumble spread across the ship. The crew felt their stomachs twist as reality around them bent and warped. A scientist turned nervously. General, if we fire this, the surrounding region will become unstable for centuries. Krytos did not blink. That is not my concern. Across the stars, Lisa watched the sensor screens as she stood beside Arlen. They are almost ready. Arlen clenched his fist. Then we move now. He opened a channel. All human ships, prepare for defensive formation. Emberfall will take point. We stand together. Outside, space shimmered as Emberfall rose above the surface of Earth, its body glowing brighter with each passing second. Human fleets assembled behind him. Thousands of ships, small and large, civilian and military, old and new. They formed a great wall of light around their home. Even with fear they stood. Then it came. A ripple of pure darkness spread across the void. Rubble from asteroids disintegrated. Stars flickered. Nightbreaker activated. Emberfall's voice echoed across human channels. Brace yourselves. The void blast launched forward. Silent, unstoppable, a wave capable of wiping out everything. Humans watched in horror. Arlen whispered, Please hold. Emberfall raised its arms. Light exploded from its core, a bright, golden flame that pushed against the darkness. The two forces collided. Nightbreaker's void clawed at Emberfall's energy, tearing pieces of light away. Emberfall roared, pushing harder, his form flickering. Lisa held her breath. He's losing energy. Arlen shouted, Emberfall, fall back if you must. But Emberfall answered, No. Humanity must live. He unleashed everything he had. A giant sphere of brilliant energy burst outward, swallowing the void blast. The shockwave lit up the entire star system like a second sun. When the light faded, Emberfall's body dimmed, barely holding shape. Dr. Hale whispered, "He used too much." Emberfall turned toward Earth, voice soft and fading. "Live well, children of Earth." Then the light went out. Emberfall collapsed into drifting sparks, disappearing into the quiet of space. Humanity had survived. But the Council had just made the biggest mistake in its history, and the galaxy would soon learn what it meant to threaten humans. The shockwave from Emberfall's sacrifice traveled across human space like a silent sunrise. Every ship, every colony, every station felt the trembling energy that had saved them. People came out of shelters and control rooms. They looked at the glowing horizon in awe. Humanity was alive. Commander Arlen stood on Earth's highest command tower, staring at the last sparks of Emberfall fading into the dark sky. His eyes burned, not from fear, but from respect. "He gave everything," Dr. Hale said softly beside him. "He saved us all," Arlen replied. "We will not forget him." Lisa stepped forward. Her voice was filled with quiet sorrow. "The Council will not stop. Krytos will say humanity attacked first. He will twist the truth. He always does." Arlen turned to her. "Maybe. But after today, the galaxy has seen the truth for itself." He pointed at the sky. Nightbreaker failed. Humanity did not. Across many alien worlds, news spread faster than any fleet. Nightbreaker was stopped. The humans survived. A guardian made of light sacrificed itself to protect them. People whispered in markets, in military bases, and in small homes under distant suns. Maybe humans are not monsters. Maybe they only want to live free. Why did the Council lie? Why did Krytos attack them? Even species who once feared humans now questioned everything. Small protests began on Council worlds. Not violent, just voices asking the same thing. Why are we fighting people who only defended themselves? The galaxy had started to change. But General Krytos did not feel doubt. He felt rage. Inside the Council war chamber, speakers shouted, screens showed collapsing fleets, and officers reported heavy losses. Krytos slammed his fist on the table. "How did they stop it?" he roared. "Nightbreaker cannot be blocked." A trembling officer replied, "General, something absorbed the blast. A being of light." Krytos growled. "Humans built that? They dare build such power." "No, General," the officer said. "Sensors show. It died after the blast." Krytos froze. A guardian that died protecting its people. The murmurs of other Council leaders grew louder. Humans defended. Humans did not strike first. We were misled. The Council began to turn against Krytos. Slowly, but clearly. He could feel the shift. His power was slipping. He grabbed a weapon and yelled, "Humanity must burn, or the Council collapses." But guards entered the room. "Krytos," one said, "by order of the Council, you are under arrest for war crimes." The general roared and fought, but it was useless. He was dragged away in restraints. The galaxy had taken its first step toward justice. Back on Earth, humans did not celebrate with joy. They celebrated with silence. Candles were placed in windows. Small lights were set on oceans, lakes, and rivers. Millions whispered the same name. Emberfall. Not as a weapon, not as a machine, but as a guardian. Commander Arlen looked up at the night sky. "We need to speak for ourselves," he said. Dr. Hale nodded. "It's time the galaxy heard the truth from humanity's own voice." Arlen agreed. "We go to the Council." Within days, a sleek human ship, the Odyssey, rose above Earth and entered faster than light travel. Beside the crew stood Lisa, calm but determined. She would act as bridge between humans and the Council. When the ship arrived at the Council's central station, silence filled the galaxy. Thousands of alien ships surrounded the station, not to fight, but to watch. The Council chamber doors opened for the first time to a human commander. Arlen stepped forward slowly, his boots echoing on the polished floor. Aliens from 100 worlds stared, waiting to see how a human would act. Some expected anger. Some feared revenge. Some hoped for peace. Arlen stopped at the center. He spoke in a calm, steady voice. Humanity did not seek war. We asked for peace. We asked to live free. We were met with threats, lies, and Nightbreaker. A wave of whispers moved through the crowd. But we did not answer with destruction. We defended. We survived. And we are still here. He raised his head. We will stand with any world that wants peace. We will protect those who cannot defend themselves. But if anyone seeks to control, destroy, or silence us, he looked across the chamber. We will stop them. And we will end any war forced upon us. The room fell silent. But then something unexpected happened. A representative from the Varan race stood. We support humanity, she said. Humans showed courage where many would show hate. Then another stood. Humanity deserves respect. Then another. Let them join the council. Voices rose, one after another, until the chamber echoed with support. For the first time in history, humanity was welcomed, not feared. Lisa stepped beside Arlen with a proud smile. This is only the beginning, she whispered. Arlen nodded. Yes, a beginning built on strength. Not from conquest, but from unity. Outside the station, across the galaxy, people celebrated, not a human victory, but a victory of truth and courage. Humanity had gained something more powerful than territory or weapons. They had gained respect. And their message spread across 1,000 stars. We want peace. But if you bring fire to our door, then humanity will become fire itself. The galaxy would never forget it. The age of fear was over. The age of humanity had begun.